Welcome to the Farm Truck and AZN YouTube channel,
where it is what it isn't. You gonna turn the GoPros on?
Is that inverter working?
No, let's see here. There we go. Now we got power.
Double check this GoPro over here. There it is.
Hey, give it a second.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hell yeah, I'm grabbing a can. Housekeeping?
Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off?
What kind of hotel is this? Oh, it's you.
All right. Dude, that's always so much fun.
You guys more fun than me.
Well, this is it.
Yeah, the episode's aired finally.
Yeah, we finally get to release it. This was one of them that we've definitely been keeping a secret the longest and hid it away in the shop until it was time to go play. So we didn't get to go over much, you know, hey, it's a 40-minute show, hour long with commercials. We didn't get to go over every little detail about the build. You didn't get to see how much work, effort, time, material it took to build this thing. So we're gonna take the time today to kind of give you a 10,000-foot view of what it took to build the camper car.
You know, the whole concept of this deal is sort of unfathomable. It's still really hard for people to grasp what's going on here. We had to move the windows, move the doors to get them to match the van. We also had to move this a little bit further back, this wheel well, just so we could change a tire. Plus we wanted it to look correct. All new skin on the sides. Tony Westland came in and distressed it and made it look old. I wanted to keep the door knocker. This was important to me. What does this say, Asian? The lampreys?
The leprosies.
No.
The Lepleys.
The Lepleys are probably the original owners to this thing, which it's a 1940s era. We don't know exactly what date it is, but if they're still around, wouldn't they like to see their camper now? Everything that is original would be the windows, the little valance up top, the door. This light is original. These lights were original, and we had a company that builds lenses out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, make these, and it's called Lens.
Ooh, Lens Crafters.
Sponsored by.
All the sheet metal and all the trim is all original. These are brand new screws. We had to rust them all, you know. I'm all about the detail.
Oh, you guys even rusted the screws.
That's right.
Look at that. Dang, dude.
This tank here is the original one to the camper. I found a date on it. It's 1949. That's what told us, I mean, it's really could be off a little bit. Someone could have grabbed an older tank and thrown it on this. Anyway, I'm going with 40s.
So one big question on the internet I've been seeing is, I wouldn't be surprised if there was nitrous in the propane tanks hidden, but is there anything in those propane tanks?
I don't know. Do you got a lighter? Let's find out. No, there's nothing in them, man. It's just there for a decoy. We wanted to make sure that there was nothing in them, just in case you know, there was an accident or something. These things go flying through the air, no telling what could happen. Even though it seems as unsafe as it possibly could be, we tried to bring as much safety into it as we could.
This is a GPS sensor. for the speedometer, right? It just seemed to be the easiest way to go. So at least we can know up to about 85 miles an hour how fast we're going. And then we upgraded the headlights because there is none. So that is...
That's right, we hid our headlights right there.
yeah. I mean, you don't want to drive it at night, but I guess you can. Same goes for this side. Did you have to move any panels on this side, Farm? Do you remember?
We did not have to move any panels. We just wanted to match this one, you know, to the driver's side so we could look straight out. And then we wanted to add this one just to make it look period correct. This here is new. This is our gas door. You got a dime on you?
I got nothing.
No?
I ain't got a dime.
You got a blade?
You use Spyderco. Yeah.
Here, you got it?
There it goes. Right, and then, oh, someone left our gas door open.
Oh.
Here, I'll fix it.
It's so embarrassing.
This was new. We got it at Smiley's. I tried to distress it the best I could, try to make it look like the original. It was just I don't know if it was better quality aluminum, but it was just a different quality of aluminum.
Don't break that.
I'll snap that tip right off there.
That's what I'm scared of.
So the body itself, you guys on the show they said you guys lowered it because it was a little too top heavy, maybe. Is that true?
Lowered it's relative because there was no really lowering it from everything's brand new, but it is.
We lowered it down this way.
Yeah, shortened.
Right.
So we channeled it.
Shortened it, I guess is the right word. Yeah.
That's right. And then we did shrink it up. There's no sense in having this thing, you know, 4 extra feet. So we shrunk it all up.
Formatted the whirly bird.
My favorite part of the whole thing is exactly that, because our exhaust system, it runs through the headers. Stainless Works provided the exhaust. It rolls down through. It comes right up through that, and that's where our exhaust is. Whenever we filmed the show, we didn't have that, and so it was an afterthought. Because the fumes started getting really bad in there because we didn't have an exit. We didn't want to see a tailpipe sticking out so people would know that there was a vehicle
That's
underneath.
the newest thing you've done.
That's right. So the sheets of metal on the sides are brand new, came from TW Metals. And then Tony Westland, he's the local artist. He painted the dung beetle. He's a genius at distressing things. And it took us a long time to figure out exactly how we were going to distress this aluminum. There's millions of videos out there on the internet about distressing steel with various different materials, but there's not too many on aluminum. But Tony Westland, he knew what to do, and we went to work and we were able to get it all done. I think that it looks great. All this yellow, it just kind of happened, kind of streaky looking. I love the look at it.
Farm decided to have it tinted, but we didn't want the standard issue black, because actually black you can kind of see through depending, and if it's lit inside you could probably see through this, but with this look he kind of wanted that meth shack look, so we used window tint and glass. Farm Truck called her up and basically said, hey, do the worst job you possibly can, and that's what I want to, that's the look I'm going for.
That's exactly right. Emily hooked us up with this thing. She thought we were crazy for adding this type of tint to this thing. She couldn't believe that we wanted to do what we wanted to do. This tint was provided by Emily, and it looks like it's impossible to see out of, but I was going after that old school look of in the 70s when window tint was just first coming out, and the technology really wasn't there to stick it to your window, and as soon as it got hot it bubbled all up and wrinkled and ruined. That's the look that we were going for. And we'll show you on the inside here in a minute how easy it is to see out of. These taillights are something that we found on the inside of the camper whenever we were stripping it down. They're glass, and then we built these little aluminum frames. Ian, he's a guy that was on our crew. He helped us a lot.
This was my only contribution. I made that. That's all I did.
Oh, the plate. You can see Ed has started the actuators. They're slow rolling. Rather than having a dedicated hydraulic system, or these actuators work on the gonrail very well.
Right. That's right.
They're strong enough. They're measured to be able to handle the weight of this. They work very well. They're slow, but they work well.
They're bullet 50 cal, they call them. So obviously the timeline of the show goes a lot quicker. We intended to paint the van, and we still want to paint it. Dale up at Performance Paint, he's got the paint, he's got the materials. So over the winter here, we plan on pulling the camper off, bringing it up to him, and let him paint it and make it a little bit nicer, because we like things to be nice under the hood, just like the whole wolf in sheep's clothing idea.
Jet hot coatings helped us with a lot of accessory pieces, just some pieces that were unfinished, or they were new but they were you know, uncoated. We just we didn't feel like painting them, so we just sent a lot of stuff to the powder coater when they were running that color.
That's right.
And so the grill, and you'll see some stuff that looks new and shiny, and we just took it to Jet Hot locally and had them coat it.
This fender here, we bought this guy off, we bought this van off a guy named Mark in Lunkton, Texas. There was some damage up here on this front fender. He was scrapping another van. We told him that we wanted that fender. He drilled the whole thing out and drove it up here and gave it to us. The guy was amazing. He went way out of his way to help us. He said there was just surface rust on it, and when we first saw it, we thought surface rust, but he was right, you know? It was just a bunch of surface rust, because whenever we got underneath the thing, it was pretty damn good.
Surface rust and rat crap.
Yeah, you cleaned all that out.
It's hard to tell the difference between the two.
Well, he wasn't responsible for all that.
The van originally had, as you maybe have saw, it had some old school 70s mags on it.
That's right.
Right? And so, but we didn't want to ruin those cool 70s mags, and they didn't really fit right. They weren't going to hold the tire size, so what we did is we called US Mag. They supplied us with some kind of period correct style of wheel to match them, and we just painted them black. In the episode, they're actually still polished, but then we started looking at the footage, and like, they definitely need to be black.
We painted them with that Plastidip, right? And we can peel it all off, and they'll be nice and shiny again. But I've never actually tried the peeling process of that.
Yeah. Have you ever taken an egg and tried to unskin it all at once?
All right, so this is our emergency exit up here, just in case something happened. We could pop the top.
Can we get to that?
Midwest Bus Sales provided that for us, and we appreciate those guys out there in El Reno, Oklahoma.
Can we get to that?
We can get to that.
Can we get to that?
All right, here we are.
It's done.
Now, let's have a little under the hood.
Now, a lot of this about what we're seeing is Ed the mechanic basically took care of everything to make this thing purr, run, operate.
I see you back there, Ed.
He can probably tell you more about a lot of this than us as it went together. The motor that was in it needed to come out, right? It was pure 1970. So Farm called up our buddy over at Speedway. They sell a blueprint 400 small block.
That's right.
Crate motor. You know, our normal engine builder is Mark Brown over at Advanced Engine Machine, but this just wasn't going to showcase his work as good as something like this. This was something turnkey. Get it in there, get the episode done. It's a nice little piece. It runs pretty good for what it is.
Well, you know, we were very proud of the way that it ran, because it went at 1293 at 98 miles an hour, which impressed all of us. There's guys that work on their cars for years just trying to get it to break into the 12s, you know, and we do it with a camper. It shocked us all. We never thought it was going to go that fast.
Some of the questions I've seen is, how do we keep it cool? We don't know. We called Be Cool, asked for radiator. It's a mechanical fan. That might be a thing that helps it.
Mechanical fan and shroud helps a bunch. Way more efficient on keeping a motor cool than electric fans. We weren't too concerned about the horsepower draw that a mechanical fan takes. I don't know what it takes, what, 7 to 10 horsepower?
Cooling was more important.
Cooling was way more important. So,
you know, Ed again led the charge on a lot of this. The brake setup, we just replaced it with factory aftermarket part. It's got Willwoods all the way around, but the suspension is QA1. It's got an aftermarket custom front sway bar. So the rear end is a quick
performance 9-inch with a 14 gear.
Okay, all right. And did you run into any issues as you were shoehorning this motor? We were basically trying to the headers. Did we have to custom make headers? Did we?
We had to fudge the headers some.
Okay.
Then we had to cut a little bit of the body away to get it up in there.
Okay. And then everything else was just kind of you strong arming in here.
Yeah, just kind of fitting it together.
You know, mechanical wise, Ed went over every electrical part, every mechanical part. Any moving part was brand new and redone.
Does this work?
It's magic.
Why were you holding it? I'm keeping this in there.
But all the brakes, all the brake lines, all the wires, all of it was done by Ed. Very meticulously done by Ed, and we're proud of that. You know, if we wanted to, we could drive this thing to California.
Yeah.
Without this.
No, I mean, another thing that we're you know, we feel a little bit about, but it's a lot of the bolts are ARP, which those guys are kind of unsung. You never get to see the bolts, right?
That's right.
But they gave us a huge set to use and on anything we needed to. So Ed kind of took the liberty of using one everywhere he could. That
Nice jewelry.
yeah,
That's right.
Everywhere.
Those ARP bolts are stainless steel.
Some of the best bolts out there, man.
It's jewelry for mechanics, isn't it? Yeah.
Nothing was untouched. It's even got a new rag joint for the steering column. Yeah. So if people think that this is just kind of a hodgepodge build and we just threw a camper on, no, everything went through, gone through everything.
Very thought out.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something you can see, but you typically can't see the exhaust. The exhaust runs through some Black Widow mufflers. It's a 300 series. It's as quiet as they get. But hey, we're hot rod guys. We still like the sound of it. You could make this whole thing electric and make it completely silent, but we're still hot rod. It's hard to quiet down a 500 horsepower small block. So it sounds great, and it puts a smile on our face every time we hear it. Fuel system, there's nothing you can't see. It's got an ATL fuel cell.
All right, well, it's a little awkward, but come on in. It's a little rough and ready in here. You know, we didn't have time to do anything with the walls. You know, that fine shag carpet was in here with all the insulation that they had. That was, we didn't have time to do anything with the interior, except Dale from Performance Paint, he sprayed a bed liner in here. We had to redo the floor in the front with the diamond plate. Then you can get a better shot of the motor right here. MSD helped us out, you know, with the billet distributor, wires, ignition box, Nitrous Express. Everybody that knows us knows that we are 100% Nitrous Express. We think that they have the best stuff out there as far as nitrous goes. We put 100 shot of nitrous on this thing, and we feel like that is really what made the difference with this thing running the number that it did. Echo.
Okay, so
Oh, check out the echo.
Say something. Say something loud.
echo. Oh, there's an echo in here.
Well, when you go out just a little bit, you're right there.
Echo.
Sounds like it's a radio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it
All
does.
right, guys, here we go.
It's the echo in the camper up top.
Ed completely rewired the whole van. So everything has been rewired with a painless kit, right?
That's right.
So everything's nice and tidy and new and ready to rock. You can see the switch panel there, all the gauges work, and that wood grain steering wheel.
Now, in the episode, you had a bigger steering wheel, didn't you?
Yeah, the original steering wheel was giant, but it's very difficult to get in and out of the driver's seat. So AZN, he's in charge of wheels. He picks the wheels. I don't question that. And this is the wheel that he came up with, kind of a wood grain. I'm loving the wood grain.
Okay, nice. I like it.
And then our boy Ian up in Pennsylvania, he laid out the dash and built all this, put the switch panel in. He did a good job.
And we really just took the factory dash and repainted it. That's all we did. We just
That's right.
It might have a dash cap on it, maybe.
No,
Nope.
that's all original.
Okay, all right. Seats, you know, hey, it runs a 12, you know, so we needed some race seats in it.
That's right.
And it's got race quip belts, so it's got race quip seats. These are their new seats. They're probably the most comfortable race seat on planet Earth. Of course, up-to-date belts, you need that.
The shifter's a B&M shifter. Speedway sent us that. Our boy Joe up there took really good care of us during this whole build. Sent a bunch of shifter parts. He sent most of the parts for the motor that we needed.
So all of the monitors we had to purchase. We knew that this thing was going to be a giant blind spot. So all the monitors were purchased off of like eBay, all the wiring, all the USB HDMI cables. GoPro, we had to buy those, so we've got 4 GoPros all the way around to light them up when need be, left, right, front, back. And that's about the best you can do. They still don't function as they should, but Farmtruck's a good enough driver to be able to just improvise as he's driving.
But
so
it helps with the blind spots, right?
It does. But it's really the navigator's really the guy in the passenger seat. Farm can only look forward through the glass.
The GoPros help. And whenever we get it out, we usually have a car behind us, a car in front of us,
That's right.
to where we make it as safe as we possibly can.
And having a passenger, having at least 2 people on this thing, it's kind of a 2-person job.
I want to drive this thing everywhere.
No, you
I want it to be my daily driver.
No, you can't. We don't. Ed and I mitigate all of that. We stop.
That's right.
We unplug the battery.
We only allow 3 gallons of fuel.
This is allowance.
Yeah, a week.
You know, we're making about 500 horsepower with this blueprint motor, and then we have 100 shot of nitrous, but since we are concealed inside here, the likelihood of a fire is very slim. But we did add a Safecraft fire system just to make sure if there was a fire, we could pull it, we could put it out, Asia and I could get out of here without too much smoke.
See a little Rosler transmission sticker here.
He's a 400 guy. He recommended that we should put a 400 in it. It was a lot of extra fabrication to get a 400 in it. You know, Carl, he's the man as far as transmission goes. We went with what Carl said, and here we are, man.
It's a little bit longer than the original transmission, so we actually had to take the drive shaft to a local shop. Precision Drive, Dave over there.
Yeah, that's Dave at Precision Drive.
Helped us shorten that. He's helped us with every single build we have with our drive shaft.
Because the 400 transmission was a little bit different, you know, from what we had. And we just thought we'd go ahead and have Dave build a really good strong one.
That's right.
Then we're not going to have any problems, you know.
We never have.
That's right.
We never have.
I haven't seen that XS.
Yeah, they
battery
went.
before.
XS went old school with their labels, and I think it's great, man. We put it right behind the seat. We didn't want to bury it up underneath to where we couldn't get to it, so we just put it right behind the driver's seat. All right, this switch here is our up and down. So, Ed, will you put that hood down, please?
And to charge that battery, it does have a an aftermarket MechMan alternator. So that's supplying a lot of our vehicles is MechMan.
Going down. Now, the only thing that we have to watch for is that exhaust going in the hole up there that fits up inside there. Because sometimes the body just sways a little bit.
And everything's braced. Do you want Lou to kind of look at how it's braced in there?
Sure.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah. You can kind of see how it's braced extra.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of just more support, right?
At the drag strip, whenever you guys saw it racing, it was barely pulling the front wheel off the ground. We had Ed set up the QA1 shocks exactly like we did on the farm truck, just to get it to transfer weight and try to get the front wheels off the ground. And we couldn't have done it without the Mickey Thompson drag radial on the back. We wanted to go with a radial so it'd be a little bit more streetable than a race slick, and also a little bit more stable. Part of the dilemma, you see, we got to make sure that that exhaust hits that hole right there. That was some math right there, you know.
Oh, dude, you got to figure out the angle, right?
To try to get the exhaust at the right length and to have it land right inside there. We're making it. We're making it. And, oh dude, look how close it is. Oh, it's right there. Look at that.
Hell yeah, that's crazy. I could not have figured that out, dude. That's some real math. That's some practical math right there. You probably see geometry though everywhere you go though, right? Like with your carpentry skills.
I kind of do.
Because you see the angles, you know where to cut. You know, that's just a lifetime of experience that you just kind of have there naturally.
Thanks, Lou.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, me too. I have so much geometry.
Give me over here. No.
Ed, let go of my hand.
All right, coming in. I'm rolling.
No power at all? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you have to start it.
That'll trigger the inverter.
Okay.
And it takes a minute to fire these things up.
Rear door probe might be off.
Could be. You want to check it?
Off?
Might be.
Let's roll.
Oh, it's saying front one's off too. There we go. Yep.
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 Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so it's obviously the front. The rear is flipped and it's mirrored, so that's confusing. Don't look at that, that'll make you throw up. And then these are the sides, so it's not great, but we at least know if we hit something where we did.
See out these windows.
Oh, Jesus, my tree.
All right.
You can actually see pretty good, you know? It's just that there's a few blind spots that we try to cover it with GoPro.
So as you see, you know, helps a little bit. But these are more of a, these are kind of more of a distraction for the driver it's really up to me to look at it and see if I see anything. He needs to be looking forward and side to side. These are kind of distracting.
And that's why you need a co-pilot to drive this. I wonder what, see this guy in front of us? I wonder what he thinks when he looks at his rearview mirror.
Not sure. They don't even look.
So the key to driving this thing is know where you're going, know where you're going to turn, because you don't want to change lanes, right? That's where the blind spots are. So if you know that you're going to be making a right in 10 miles up the road, get in the right lane.
Oh, Ed's through the gate. You can see him running at the monitor.
Ed's running?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, thanks for riding along. And that will conclude the tour of the camper car, better known as the Airstream.
So this will conclude the walk around video. We appreciate you guys watching and getting a little more detailed view on what it took to build one of these. This is one of 8. We got 7 more to go. Discovery Channel. It'll be 10 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays. Farmtruck and AZN, Street Outlaws. 7 more to go.
7 more to go. Stay tuned.
Special thanks to Tommy, Electric Joe, Ian, and Wildebeest.
That's right, and also Summit Racing and K&N Filters. Hey, Farmtruck and AZN here. Thank you for sticking around and watching our YouTube videos.
Since you're a viewer and hopefully a subscriber, drop by our website, okcfarmtruck.com, and use discount code FNAYouTube to get 10% off your next order.
It's our way of saying thank you.